Lionel, Keanu Felicien, Donovan Phillip plays over in the United States. There's Donovan Phillip with a club team. William and Louis. Should be a cracker.
So we also seeing fans sort of peppering the stands on the west side to see this derby. And not sure if these are players from different parts of the island. I know Vieux is from the south of the island now.
The drive of more than 90 minutes and Donai being tested right off the bat.
So this player Jared this year, very consistent. This is going to be a battle for him today. Very strong in his legs, tries to be an enforcer. Plays like a police officer, arresting those that try to get past him. Both bright colors here for these two St. Lucia teams.
There's been a lot of trickery with the Vieux team in terms of how they set up for their free kicks.
This looks like, it's tough to see the numbers. It looks like Purpey. And a nice kick.
Well done, Donovan Purpey, national player, and really testing Darren Donai in goal. Darren Donai recently coming from a stint in Germany where he did camp for just about 3 months. And he's actually the captain of the St. Lucia Select, gets them underway, and they're about to manifest hopefully their first attack, but it goes right back to Vieux.
And this game, as with the other, I suspect that it will take a while for it to settle as both teams wrestle for control.
One element, of course, both teams would be very familiar with one another's styles. All of the players here would know one another. Several of them would have played on the national team with each other, so they've trained together. They're not unfamiliar.
National team players on both sides, I imagine.
Very much so.
Well, you can definitely see the quality from what we've seen from these two teams, so it's not surprising at all, I don't think. So for the audience watching it at home, St. Lucia Select is in the yellow strip with black and going from left to right, and Vieux in the fluorescent green with the white sleeves.
Keanu Felicien tries to save that one from going out. He's a former sprinter, so he does have a bit of speed, but not quite that much speed. That's a little bit beyond him.
Could see a bit of rain passing in the distance, but we haven't experienced any here today, some yesterday and day before.
This area, of course, situated with exactly that in mind, the fact that it does not usually have a great deal of rainfall. Sometimes it's raining 2 minutes away from the DSCG and it's completely dry here. People will tell you, listen, I ain't going to cricket there. The fellas can't be playing.
A good location for cricket then. So plays down early. It's number 15 for St. Lucia Select. Seems to be in a lot of pain. It looked like a knee clash, but the trainers would be able to see what the situation is. That's Braville. Donnell Braville. Dong Lee. Hopefully he's okay. Can go on. I always find it interesting how small the shin guards are relative to the
absolutely
the length of the shin.
Absolutely. It's like they tell you to wear shin guards, so you put a little piece of something.
Well, he's paying the price now. Braville being a tall player, so
I've never ever believed in these little shin guards. I don't know how, especially these young players. You see a lot of them coming out to these tiny shin guards that go halfway
minimum requirement,
if at best.
No, I can see Braville going into the sports store definitely to get a
Okay, listen, no,
bigger pair.
I don't want that little one.
Yeah, he's paying the price as he's forced to limp off with that shin clash.
St. Lucia select not quite a full national youth team. As I said, a number of those youth players would be on the Vieux side. There are also a few players overseas, some of them recently heading off to Jamaica College, where they've taken up scholarships. I think about 5 of them at least. In fact, all 5 of them would have been national players, would have played for St. Lucia at the under 20 level up to last year in the CONCACAF tournament. This St. Lucia, well, the St. Lucia national team, the youth team, has been unbeaten in something like 15 games.
Oh, wow. That's the post cleared out of danger.
This is already riding his luck.
Oh, wow. Close call.
Already riding his luck is Darren Donai. He's been saved now twice by the woodwork.
Doesn't seem concerned though. He still has a calm about him. Not ruffled at all. Made us nervous in the stands, but he seems calm.
There was quite a bit of competition for that. That it's been a problem, I think, for the youth team for some time now, and there was quite a bit of competition for that number 1 spot in goal. And Donai, he's been working very steadily and eventually coming away with the top spot. So there are a couple of goalkeepers, one in Miami, and a couple of others who are contenders. But Darren Donai, I think right now, the unquestioned number 1 for the St. Lucia youth team.
Well, he certainly has proven his worth in this tournament so far, making a couple critical saves for St. Lucia Select in the group stage, and they would hope that he would continue to do so for them in the semi-final and the final, with the help of the upright and the post, of course.
Tariq Leo, also good goalkeeper. Yes, Vieux attack underway. Vieux very dominant in local football at all levels. They've been winning quite a bit in recent years, including at the veterans level.
Oh wow, it's a long history. Good lineage, good legacy. These legacy teams always seem to have the advantage of mentors. A breakaway now. Floated cross, but Tariq Leo is underneath it. Teams with a strong legacy always continue to bring up good youth in the system, whether it's in the community or the youth teams. You always see it. They have the advantage of those that came before them, guiding them, and of course the elders. But you always find in these communities strong football history.
Even on the Vieux team, you'd find Tariq Leo, not Tariq Leo, you'd find the young Poopy, Donovan Poopy, has been a national player. Jadel Lionel, Kendall Clark, all of those young men have worn St. Lucia jerseys in the not too distant past.
Well, we also know of in Trinidad of the name Elva from Titus Elva.
Yes, indeed. One of his sons.
Standout, and we saw his son Riquelme.
All of his sons bearing the names of famous footballers. Canija, Riquelme.
Wow.
I can't remember the other Canija, no, not Canija, the other young one. He has another younger son.
Well, Riquelme has definitely shown his value with respect to both the names of his father and of course the famous Boca Juniors player. So
Saviola.
Saviola.
Saviola is the other Elva boy.
Father seems like he was an Argentinian fan.
As he ought to.
Yeah, it's interesting because there are few, we were making a joke about that early in the week. There are few St. Lucia players with Argentine names. Oh! It's a rocket to the far post. And Vieux take control of this game.
I believe that might have been Clive Gray there.
We seen indeed. It's tough to. Yes, it is. It is Clive Gray.
He is well known for getting on the score sheet. He was a leading scorer in the free kick in the Easter Youth Cup, which qualified Vieux to represent St. Lucia at this tournament.
Not surprising at all.
That is exactly the kind of goal that he likes to get behind.
Not surprising at all. Elva, they have that attack. Vieux has the attack between Clivert, Riquelme, Elva, and Purpey. Very dangerous attack, and it has given them a huge advantage here in the group stage. And now we see, of course, Clivert converting to put his team 1-0 up.
Should have the score updated for you shortly, and of course, Vieux 1 to the good. Plays for Victory Eagles down in Vieux to the Clivert Grey.
Well, I don't think that a goal this early in the game is going to rustle the feathers of St. Lucia too much. We've seen them come in the last game in the group stage from, I believe, 3 goals down to tie it up 3-3. So they will no doubt stay composed and stick to the game plan as they approach the rest of this game. Hunt carrying it forward. Hunt in this tournament, I don't know what his natural position is in St. Lucia, but we've seen him transition between a defensive midfield position and a centre back position, and has done so very comfortably. And this no doubt is St. Lucia selects best 11 according to the coach, knowing the tough competition they come up against. They have changed up their roster over the group stage to keep fresh legs, but they would definitely come with what they consider their best today, and we'll see how it turns out. Now a player is down, stamped.
Bit of a rough tackle there.
Looks like Donovan Phillips. Yes, it is.
Coming out of Marcia.
And we're up.
His mother is actually a football coach.
Interesting. So they're gonna go into the box. Oh no, that looks like a shot. Oh my!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my! Tyreek Leo.
Well, we spoke about Tyreek Leo being a good goalkeeper. Unfortunately, he maybe a little bit of goat mouth from us.
It could be. Tyreek Leo, from the early parts of the group stage, you can tell very, very good goalkeeper. He has had a bit of misfortune in this particular goal, but it happened as well in the Trinity Nationals game. He had it securely and it just seemed to slip out of his hands.
So direct from a free kick, the St. Lucia select equalizes.
1-1 is the score, so we have an exciting matchup. Teams back level. It creates the type of excitement, more people filling into the stands to see this St. Lucia derby here at the 2022 Free Kick Youth Cup tournament in St. Lucia. And very uncharacteristic slip up from Tyreek Leo, but that we don't have any doubt will not be the last statement made on this game. It makes for early excitement. Low crossing.
The first couple of corners from Vieux on the ground.
Oh,
here comes that man. Here comes that man. Keegan breaks the game wide open.
We know what he can do.
Plays professionally over in Gibraltar. Europa Point FC already has 2 hat-tricks in this tournament. Also had a hat-trick for his club team in midweek.
Not
in
surprising.
Between the 2 youth games.
Wow, not surprising
so
at
in
all.
his last 3 games, in 3 of his last 4 games, he scored 9 goals.
He's going to have to get an accountant to audit his tally. But interestingly, there was a crunching tackle, but the referee gave St. Lucia Select the advantage.
Yeah.
And, as we said, right? We said that early goal, it would not ruffle them in any way. They stuck to the game plan, and we knew from the moment that fell to the feet of Cole what he is capable of in that scenario.
And you spoke in the earlier game about individual talent being able to unlock something, especially in close quarters such as we have with this smaller field, and that is exactly what we saw. Beating 1, beating 2, rounding the keeper, beating the last man, boom,
Cool.
Changes the entire complexion of the game from what it was just 5 minutes ago.
And I suspect he's not done there.
Well, he doesn't like, he doesn't feel, he comes from the land of the Peters, so you have to. He doesn't like just doing things by one. So I think we can expect him to press for another.
Well, it was a very good play and a very good pass forward. I think it was Jared Desir. No, it was number 22, one of 3 midfielders, Shaquille Williams, who made it through pass and paid for it by a crunching tackle, but he's up now. And now Vieux is the one that has to stage a comeback. Oh, clever work from Puppy. Very exciting football here from both St. Lucia teams.
Not entirely sure that last whistle was called for. It looked like a fair enough challenge, but the referee thought otherwise, and a free kick to Vieux.
You get the feeling that with every attack, we may see a goal with these two teams.
Oh. Sure hands from Darren Donai. They've been 2 of the more prolific sides in this tournament, opening their accounts with 6-3 and 8-0 wins, and they've not really let up throughout. St. Lucia Select were down in their last game in the group stages, 2-0, and came back to fight for a 3-all draw.
I always had these 2 as favorites. Of course, they have home advantage here, support of the crowd, and they are not giving up this St. Lucia real estate to anyone who comes in, but they will have to fight each other for it this afternoon. Ball back in the hands of Tariq Leo. Goes short.
Now, it must be said, he may have been at fault for the first goal, but he had nothing to do with the second.
No, there is.
The second, I don't think, many goalkeepers.
Absolutely nothing he could do about it.
The speed, the power, the intent of that young man, there's not a whole lot, certainly not at this level, that you could do about it. He's scored quite a bit at the CONCACAF Under-20 last year. St. Lucia playing unbeaten but finishing second in the group. By virtue of having scored fewer goals than the home team, the Dominican Republic, whom they drew 2-all with.
And who I feel went on to qualify for the
big stage, the World Cup.
World Cup, Under-20 World Cup next year.
Loses his footing. There's young Call. The fishing village of Canaries.
Referee calls a foul, handball,
The assistant
sorry.
says that ball went to his hand, but he played it to his hand, unfortunately.
So we also saw some talent from this player in the first game, Riquelme, Lionel. Another interesting Argentinian names. St. Lucia seem to be avid Argentina fans.
How I wish. Not so much.
Two Argentinian greats, Riquelme and of course Lionel Messi. Oh, that one eludes. And Cole puts his head maybe where it shouldn't be. The referee calls for a foul against Vieux.
After having joined Europa Point FC in Gibraltar earlier this year, last season, he was recently retained, played one senior game of them.
Oh,
Very dangerous ball in there. And
clash against
the
the
attacker
goalkeeper.
deemed to have been a bit too enthusiastic.
he seems okay, Tariq Leo, but it could have gone very different way. So now we attack on the other side. Pupi chasing. It's going to be a corner. Donovan Pupi is going to swing this one in with his right foot, which we've seen him score on dead balls with that right foot. Very deadly. Whips his leg around it. Far to the back post, maybe a bit too far on this shorter than usual field.
Perhaps the first time that they've lifted the ball into the goal mouth, and again perhaps the earlier tactic of playing it on the ground due to the size of the field, because we saw that time that it just wafted across goal and back into touch.
Less effective. So it seemed like in an instant the tables were turned back into the favor of St. Lucia Select, who started down, now have a narrow 2-1 lead. But I suspect this is not going to be the final scoreline, the way these two teams continue to press. Tonai takes his time now, looking for his players.
Tries to find Donovan Phillip out wide, but it comes back for a Vieux throw-in.
Hunt just helped down by Pupi, invited him to have a seat. So it looks like Donai is trying to keep the pressure out of his half for a few minutes, going deep, last two kicks going deep. This man Jadel Lionel always very, very composed in the middle.
Deemed one of the outstanding players of the group stages, along with Clivert Gray and Elva.
So this man Hunt dropping a little deeper in the last two games at centre back. Diminutive but fierce, like a Wolverine almost. Oh, close call. Tariq Lewis underneath it. Oh, is it in? No, it is not.
Anything could have happened.
Oh,
right
that was
there.
a nervous
Anything
moment.
could have happened, and as we heard from Jamil Joseph, the coach of the Vieux team, you're not talking.
Well, no doubt there would have been a bit of an anxiety left over from the first error that he may have felt when that ball was up in the air. He's getting very passionate now. passion that we expect from a derby like this, with a lot of the players familiar with each other. Hunt. Kill me.
Both managers also very familiar with each other. Jamal Joseph, which he has played in Trinidad and Tobago, has played in the UK as well, in England. Vieux legend.
Doing a good job with this team here. Ooh, a neck control. This here over the top, a little long.
You don't want to play with Keegan Cole already. And we saw the Francis Babalastic from right here in Grosley. Recently coached the Grosley team to victory in the Veterans Tournament, the Veterans Masters Invitational, Masters International Invitational.
Oh, a nice shot, solid shot from deep outside.
Absolutely.
But not enough to trouble Donai.
Lastic also having played in the UK as well as in Trinidad and Tobago, W Connection FC.
Well, it is obvious that he knows his football and how he has managed his team out here. You see the quality from the first 10 minutes of play. You can see the quality of this St. Lucia Select team.
Assistant coach of the national team under Stern John.
Ooh, lucky of an opportunity, but it touches off his hand. Well, it looked like that. It looked like it touched his hand from us, from where we see it.
A very good chance there for St. Lucia, and you can see the intent is just to get the ball down the channel. They're not looking to do too much in terms of approach play in the final third.
They want to get that 3-1 lead. The 2-1 lead in a game like this is not anything at all to hold on to.
And they know how dangerous Vieux South can be. You see the throw about to come.
Oh, it's held by this here, and Donai is behind it.
They know how potent that combination of Poopy, Elva, and Gray.
Of course. I felt that all three players deserve to be on the All-Star team, but of course they had to give somebody else a chance. But all three together, very dangerous, make for a very dangerous attack. So Hunt is going to launch the dead ball attack from the edge of his own half. Goes to the far post. Oh,
lovely header by Donovan Phillip, and does come down to the feet of one of his teammates, but unfortunately unable to take advantage or even to trouble Tarek Leo.
They look for Donovan Phillip with he's taller than most of the other players on that back post often, and it's exactly what he intends to do, put it back across for those players coming in, Cole and Raquel Lionel. And in this opportunity, I'm almost able to converse. So Vieux with a throw.
Ravel, punching tackle. Referee allows play to go on.
So on a small field like this, you find that middle third becomes ever so important, given that once you get out of that middle of the third, you are almost on the edge of the 18-yard box and ready to shoot. So both teams, of course, will want to, between Jadel Lionel on one side and Desir on the other, would want to take control and outmuscle each other in that middle third. Oh, going just a bit wide on this occasion. So just about 11 minutes left in this one, 2-1 in favor of Vieux, but by no means close to the end in terms of excitement. Oh, well done, good strong play from Hunt.
Well dispossessed.
Raquel Lionel over the top, a nice ball. Raquel Lionel behind it, tries to use some of his trickery, but no thank you very much, says Vieux, and he's going to get a throw out of it. Looks like a long throw prep. Ooh, slipped under. Not out of trouble yet.
Goes through the legs of about 3 players before nestling safely in the hands of young Leo.
Tonai puts it at his, reaches up, and another attack constructed by St. Lucia Select. What's interesting is neither of these teams you are seeing, neither of them give the other the opportunity to string together 7, 8, 9 passes as we saw in the group stage. One of the Vieux goals, one of the candidates for goal of the tournament, they actually stringed 10 passes together to put a goal in the back of the net. Neither team allowing the other that luxury today.
And I think a lot of that comes out of, again, the knowledge that they have of one another. They both very aware how dangerous the other team is, and they know not to give any. Especially of the attacking players, any time on the ball. These players, the likes of Gray Poopy, Keegan Cole at the other end, these are very, very deadly guys.
And I suspect there's a lot of bragging rights among them in their communities as well. So
for sure,
that spurs them on not to give up anything any more than they need to. So look like Clive not entirely happy about that call, but nothing he can do about it. The referee just adjusting his referee's badge to let him know who's in charge.
Now St. Lucia has made a substitution, but they're keeping Dante Fitz on the bench, which is a little bit surprising.
Very, very interesting. From what I understand, it was a last-minute change to swap out. I don't know what the situation is, but Fitz, as we saw, both in attack and defense, a very dangerous player.
He's
on that
a
left
very,
side.
very complete player.
He's able to attack, very skillful going forward, and very difficult to pass in defense. And now this looks like Lionel. He makes a through pass, but it's a little miscommunication between him and Elva. And that it goes long, so these last 15 minutes, it seemed like St. Lucia Select has been playing very direct football, trying to get the ball to Cole, not being as patient as they were across the back through the center as they did in the group stage. They know that the pressure of Vieux is there, I imagine, so they are instead intending to go to the feet of Cole, and it has given them the lead thus far, so they should have no reason to change it.
It may have given them the lead, but I think it behooves them to stick to their game plan.
Of course.
And retain the ball a little bit more than they have done, because basically it's been ping-ponging back and forth.
It has been.
For the past 10-15 minutes it's been ping-ponging back and forth, and that's not necessarily something that you want. You want to be able to control the pace of the game, control the tempo, frustrate your opponents, and I think St. Lucia Select are equipped to do that, but they have to want to.
It just Leo bumped and
this time jostled,
spilling
yes.
out. This time we can't hold him fully responsible for that. He was just bumped off the ball. But it looks like Number 12, who I think just recently came on, huh?
No, the 14 came.
Okay,
12
14,
is
correct.
12 is young Felician.
Felician, Keanu.
Yes.
So just about 5.5 minutes left in the first half of the St. Lucia derby here at the 2022 Free Kick Youth Cup.
Interesting instruction from the coach: hands off your waist. You don't want to show people that you're tired or tentative.
Doesn't want to show any signs of weakness.
Baba says, patience, don't foul. Let's get it out of there safely.
It's going to be an important 5 minutes in this first half. No doubt Vieux will want to go in at least level. Oh, and like a chance, but it's going to be called offside. But offside, every creation of every chance in the 6-yard box brings some amount of anxiety, I imagine. Haven't seen a lot of Keegan Cole since his last goal.
Not before. He hasn't been deliberately involved in the game. There hasn't been that effort to get him. He's missing a few of his preferred partners.
Okay.
Jose Matre is on the other side today. Shaquan Nelson is on scholarship in the UK, captain of the St. Lucia youth team. Those would be two of the players who would often try to find him and try to assist him in getting the ball in the back of the net, which he does so well.
But like a true number 9, even though he's wearing 7, the ball always seems to find him. He has that fortune. There we see him again, tackled by Kendall Clark.
Teammates
know each other well then, no doubt. Can't give him any room at all. Slipping away from Raquel Millionel. Over the top. Kendall Clark has done fantastically in the back for Vieux whole tournament for the group stage. Very tough contender, very difficult to pass. The tallest, but he is great timing, good awareness, and he is a big part of the reason that Vieux has been a dominant force in this tournament.
Gray. We're trying to find Gray once again.
Some nice
they do.
football.
Very physical here in the midfield third. Daisy trying to control things, and St. Lucia, I don't know why you would go for that shot right there.
He saw something.
You appear to be in control and starting to move the ball around. You're starting to exert a little bit of control on the game. You had Donovan Phillip just wide there. Could certainly have involved him.
That's a spot that we would usually expect Fitz to be. Not this afternoon. Hopefully we get to see him later on in this match. Kelme showing some neat footwork. Has to go back. Ooh, and now Hunt showing some neat footwork. But they give it away. Now neither team being able to take control. The Seer trying to find Cole.
Hunt plays it out the back.
We've seen a very different side, I find, from these two St. Lucian teams today as they come up against each other.
A lot more urgency.
A lot more. Not able to slow it down as they would want, perhaps, but they're up against fierce competition, bragging rights today. So even though it's a semi-final, no doubt it's some sort of final domestically, even if only in their minds.
3 minutes of time added on.
Ooh.
At the conclusion of this first half, as there's a heavy challenge, referee reaching for his pocket.
That looks like Wilfred. I can't see who it is down, but it looks like Jamal Wilfred. Yes, it is Wilfred. Wilfred doing a great job yesterday to bring his team back into the game. Replaced Hunt in the sort of holding midfield position. Hunt dropping back in central defense. We saw Hunt slap one from this range yesterday and it coming off the crossbar and leading to a goal, and he goes fit again today. Now this time a floater. It looks like it's going to be 3 points for a field goal for St. Lucia Select. Different sport perhaps. Hunt not hitting it as fiercely as he did yesterday from that range.
Either chip or a power. Well, I guess it's competing field goals. It's now all even. 3 apiece.
So we're almost out of time. We're into additional time in the first half. Clark getting it out. A crunching tackle. Wilfred facing 2 crunching tackles. He only just got up 2 seconds ago from the last one. And they have offered him another seat. It's going to take him a little more time this time, no doubt. He's not going to be as quick.
He might ask to be subbed back out.
Wilfred, usually a very tough player.
Referee
has some sympathy for him.
Let's see if they can do better with this free kick.
And another one over the top.
You can see perhaps a little bit better intent. Tried to keep it down, but not quite what the situation called for.
Leave it to Clark. Vieux going to want to hold on to possession for.
It's probably the last gasp
nice
for Vieux. And they're still there. They're still there.
Over the top, it bounces. Referee calls offside. A nice turn by Purpey, but as you say, these players familiar with each other, so I suspect Hunt has seen that move before and was able to anticipate.
I think St. Lucia perhaps just content to play out the string.
Cole closed down that battle between Cole and Clark. Continues.
Referee checks his watch.
Kelvin Lionel Wilfred over the top, but it's a bit too long, and that's it.
That'll do it for an intriguing first half. Vieux to South going up fairly early, and then St. Lucia Select 11 coming back into the fray with a little bit of a shambolic goal and then a brilliant goal by Keegan called lovely solo effort. Still all to play for as we head to the second half here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. And these teams both attempting to make it to the final of the 2022 Free Kick Youth Cup here in St. Lucia. Do join us in just about 15 minutes.
Hey, I'm Free.
And I am Kicker.
And we love football. We are pumped and ready
to take you on at the Free Kick Youth Cup 2022
in beautiful St. Lucia.
Imagine yourself playing the beautiful game
on one of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean.
It's a festival of football, fun,
and entertainment
with players from all around the world. I can't wait! Free Kick Youth Cup. See you there.
And remember, many dreams,
one goal.
Hey, I'm Free.
And I am Kicker.
And we love football. We are pumped and ready
to take you on at the Free Kick Youth Cup 2022
in beautiful St. Lucia.
Imagine yourself playing the beautiful game
on one of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean.
It's a festival of football, fun,
and entertainment
with players from all around the world. I can't wait! Free Kick Youth Cup. See you there.
And remember, many dreams,
one goal.
What do you got, free boy? You see that? They came out a little early, so the referee
The players definitely very eager to resume hostilities. The referees say they're a little bit ahead of schedule. Keegan call the ball at his feet. The officials now making their way back on field. I think the officials are actually on time, but as I say, maybe the players are a little bit eager to renew hostilities there.
Yes, they're both teams eager. I mean, it is going to be sad to not see one of these teams in the final, but hopefully we'll get an exciting second half here between these two St. Lucian teams. They came back out on the field early, ready to go, and the referee will start us off for the second half of the second semi-final for this evening between Vieux South playing in fluorescent green and white. On your screen now, going from left to right, and St. Lucia Select 11 in the yellow strips with black sleeves, going in the opposite direction on your screen from right to left.
And in the first half we saw from the kickoff that Darren Dunai was tested with a long attempt, and Tarek Leo being tested right off the bat here in the second half.
So Hunt with 2 men on him and calmly goes back to Dunai, who does well. Clark behind it. He left that one, knew he was offside.
Dunai finds Phillips.
No, Phillips
piece of control.
doesn't get past Clark.
Unfortunately, yes.
Clark knows where to be. Always right place at the right time. Ooh, hope he's okay. Twists his ankle as he goes down. Elva.
As though he was all by himself.
He just landed awkwardly.
He looks to be in serious jeopardy right now. Agony on the ground. He may have done his knee.
He's upset. Let's hope he is okay.
So, you see him misplayed the ball. It still came across past Elva. I don't think anybody contacted him.
Well, let's hope he's okay. Looks, is it number 11? It is, right? Riquelme Elva. He's bending the knee, that's good news. They're helping him up.
He helps him to his feet.
Just gives it the old shake. Trainer Ricky Hill still a little concerned, waiting to see how he was observing him as he comes off. Almost looks like a dance he's doing.
Thumbs up.
It's the knee okay dance.
Has to come off because medical first aid personnel were called into the playing area, so he has to come off. Should be rejoining shortly.
Throw in for Vieux Fort. Puppy. Oh, nice touch. And a shot over the top.
Probably a good occasion for them to try to found Donovan Phillip out there on that that left wing.
Typically in that position, we have seen St. Lucia Select play it out once they bring it forward, but look a breakaway now by Elva. He just drops behind him and Donovan interrupts, but
he is brought down. It was a clash, but they deemed it to be not malicious.
Ooh. Foul, but no, it scores! It goes into the goal, shockingly. Again, the casual stance of Leo.
Again here, not looking entirely convincing.
It gets into his head, I guess. I mean, I thought it went out the way he remained casual. He thought it was going out as well.
He just entirely misjudged where that ball was going and made no real attempt. That you'd expect that at this stage, having seen the menace that is the attacking force of St. Lucia Select, that he would have made a better attempt to dive and keep that ball out. But just watches it, doesn't understand the angle, and all of a sudden it's 3-1.
Well, that is his second mistake of the game that led to a goal. Not sure. Waiting to confirm the score. I believe it was Raquel May Lionel and Jadel Lionel in this case puts a nice ball through and covers well for his keeper.
Keeps it there for the throw-in.
So it got past the keeper Donai, but Felician covering his keeper well with a slight tackle. It helps. It helps when the ball is at the feet of these strikers.
Prevented from going into the goal, but was unable to prevent the corner.
Oh, nice punch.
Oh, very vocal. Love that from my keeper.
Tonight, definitely a leader on the field.
As everybody know, I've got this.
So let's hope that Tariq Leo can shake off the bout of bad luck he's been having in this game.
Now, you know, it's funny because we spoke very early on in the piece about the fact that Donai had twice in the early going been saved by the woodwork. 5 minutes or so, the ball hit the upright, hit the crossbar, and he was riding his luck at that point in time. But at the other end of the field, Tariq Leo has not
suffered misfortune.
At all.
It is not his day. It is not his day.
Beaten all ends up by young Keegan Call one-on-one, spilled the ball for the opening goal, and then just watches this one just nestle into the back of the net to make it 3-1.
Kendall cuts everything out that comes across the goal with that diagonal pass. Call with a nice throw, a little long.
Lovely clearance.
Clark is a no-nonsense player in that defense for Vieux. Very tough to get past. Donovan Phillips. Oh, nice turn by Phillips. But Clark again is saying no thank you, sir. Clark feels like he has the playbook of these attackers from St. Lucia Select. And now they go to go a long throw. It flicks off and Cole is behind it, but he couldn't quite wrap his leg around it. Clark very close to him. Couldn't get his leg around it.
Well, looks like he might be walking a little bit ginger.
We'll see. Wilfred.
Well won by Wilfred.
Strong play on the ball, eh?
Manifests the attack all by himself.
Oh! These players are not giving Keegan Cole any room at all. Anywhere close to the box. Looks like Hunt is going to kick this one. Cole calls him off.
As I think he ought, because this something's called for a butcher knife, something's called for a scalpel. A little bit of delicacy is required at this distance and this angle.
Let's see what he can do. He has the wind with him. Takes a very sharp run up. He wants to curl it far post, and he does, but it goes a bit high. So you're right, Keegan Cole not looking 100%. Hopefully he's okay, but Clark has been on him like a guard dog whole game. So that takes a toll after a while. Very clever by Donai, showing his foot skill. Go out to Hunt. I tell you what, Terry, Hunt is not a player I would ever want to come across in as an attacker. Very, very solid, tenacious defender. Reminds me of a Wolverine. I'm in the stands and I get nervous sometimes. He does not take any prisoners.
And the day is over for young Elba. I don't have George's number. And over.
It's Mangal, it looks. Mangal is on.
Joseph Mangal. Picking up a knock. And always worse when it's there's no contact. When there's
of course. Well, when he came off, we saw the trainer Ricky Hill. He looked a little concerned. I mean, they're not wanting to take any chances. Of course, coach, I guess, made a decision in the end that it would be better if he would be replaced, and in this case by Mangal. And
meanwhile, at the other end of the pitch, it looks like might in fact be Hunt,
the enforcer.
Worst for the wear in that last exchange. That clash that he had at the edge of the box.
He waves his hand. He seems to be okay. Referee now focusing on the corner.
Fine centre backs on display here. Normally we'd also been able to watch young Sandiford. Maria Valley is also off in Jamaica. And he sent for his campaign Jamaica College.
Looks like it comes off the arm of. Is it Phillips?
I think it was the other central player. It wasn't Phillips. Didn't quite reach it.
Kendall Clark is gonna start us back out. Ooh, interesting pass. Warm up Mangal. Felt like that was the caption on that pass.
Had you had somebody like even Jose that's not the kind of pass that you would play against Clive Gray in practice match. Opportunity for someone to select throw and packing the box.
Pushing it back. Clark goes in long. And Hunt.
Once again goes down.
Hunt taking 2 tablespoons now of his own medicine. But still, for a short player, he was able to get up over Mangal.
Still rolling.
It reminds me of a couple of World Cups ago with that now famous Neymar roll. Where you
As we speak.
A lot of memes coming out of that one. But Hunt really getting up, but Mangal, he had to give a lot of effort to get up over the tall Mangal.
I see a former defender himself, Francis Lastic, a little bit concerned. It's that's not a position that you replace easily.
Of course.
When you have a player who is playing as Hunt is.
Of course.
He gets clattered twice in the space of a couple of minutes. It has to be a bit of a concern for the training staff and for the coaching team as well.
Of course.
Walking under his own power, but definitely heavy limb there.
Oh, interesting.
And calls from the sidelines of good goal, good goal.
Donai is, I guess he is read the misfortune and on Tariq Leo's end of the goal, and he is trying to capitalize on it himself. We saw one goal in the tournament so far, the group stage, directly from a kick like that against the Haitian goalkeeper, Little Haiti. Oh, a nice shot! And it's in the back of the net. And good job. It looks like Kelme. No.
At least Leo can be faulted.
You cannot fault him for that effort. That was an awesome shot. It is, in fact, Riquelme Lionel, the spirit of two famous left-footed Argentinians, coming into him, and he's very happy with that viola, and an awesome goal. Top shelf, where he stores his best chinaware, but there is no denying that. Riquelme Lionel having a good first game, and then coach rotating him out to keep fresh legs on, but he now no doubt is trying to jostle for his starting position in the finals if they should make it, and doing a good job.
And right now they look well set to get to the final at 4-1.
And it feels like not so long ago they were down 1-0 to Vieux, but they do not get flustered when down and being rewarded for it.
I would, however, recommend that they try to go down to Vinci Ballers in
No,
the,
not
in the
at
final.
all. Not at all. Makes for an exciting matchup either way, but right now it is St. Lucia Select 11. Ooh, Denai comfortable with that. St. Lucia Select 11 up 4-1 against Vieux South. In this
Still in possession, the St. Lucia Select 11. Lost it now. Vieux, though, now without one of the spearheads of their attack in the person of Elva. Donai asks for the ball, invites the pressure, plays it out. Donovan Phillips. Phillips all by himself.
Oh, and
Here you go.
Well,
Once
with Leo
again,
now, you know,
Leo being tested.
everybody is pushing, hoping to capitalize on any insecurity the young man may have. Hopefully he has the mental strength to continue despite a bit of misfortune. Well, a bit, more than his share, of course. But Select 11 has it. And a dangerous crossover. Phillips is going to chase it, but there's not enough real estate there for him to get that.
I'm just reminded that Donai actually was called up, at least for a couple of unofficial friendlies for the national senior team in June.
Interesting.
I was trying to remember if June was last month. It was. It was indeed. July feels like it's going on forever.
Well, the pandemic has changed entire sense of
Wilfred, but we'll take that into the box. But the game against Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana in a couple of behind closed doors unofficial friendlies Stern John's first squads. At the time, he would have been without the services of first choice goalkeeper Vino Bartlett.
Well, he no doubt has a future with the senior team. Oh, a nice touch there by Clivert. But then he loses his feet. They still have it though. Puppy cuts in. This series is not easily caught with that. Chidel Lionel. Oh, a nice touch, Mangal. But he doesn't get past his man. And put it in play. And Wilfred and Chidel Lionel. We've seen a lot of interesting matchups in this game. We've seen Lionel and Chidel Lionel and Wilfred. We've seen up on the other side, we've seen Keegan Cole and Kendall Clark, who hunt with a volley from outside.
Everybody wants to see what young Leo is made of.
Yeah, well, we hope he has been a good keeper, and we hope he has the mental fortitude to continue despite the misfortunes he's had. Everybody wants to see a competitive game. But, well, everybody accepts in Lucia Select 11.
Well, you know, in sport, they often say that you learn more from losses and from wins. You learn more from errors and from what we might say perfect efforts. Tarek Leo, unfortunately, having quite a bit of learning to do this afternoon.
He will have his doctorate after this game. So, this year, using his strength, trying to be clever. Not sure that was the time to do that.
Private Gray.
Oh, nice pass.
Lovely
what can
flick.
Puppy do? He puts it in the back of the net.
To Puppy.
He puts
Nothing
it in the back of the
Darren
net.
Donai could do about that one.
Very good work.
And just a few seconds ago, Gray was walking rather heavily, you know, and he was looking like he was struggling, and he just sprinted into that pass, laid it off beautifully right onto the penalty spot.
Well, we've seen Clivert Gray done well both as provider and goal scorer. He has a lot of playmaking ability. Phillips not going to get past Kendall Clark. And now you get a sense that Vieux has gotten an emotional boost from that goal. Still a lot of time.
Philip not happy.
Looks like he lost his wedding ring. Marvel takes his time.
Should be a throw into the box. We know what he's capable of doing.
Oh, a nice flick! Is it in?
Beautifully flicked it.
Interesting. Let us see what the referee has to say. Not quite sure what is happening.
The
It's a red
assistant
card.
referee.
So
The
we'll wait to
assistant
see the
referee
replay.
is putting Puppy's name in the book, it looks like.
So it was a nice flick on, and then things got chaotic, led to I guess a deliberate handball, and it is going to be a penalty kick. Keegan Cole normally takes these, but he allows his teammate Riquelme Lionel to get his second goal for the day. Let's see if he's able to capitalize. Calmly as you like. So St. Lucia Select 11 now have a lead of 5-2 against Vieux South. A long throw flicked on at the first post and creating a bit of havoc on the goal line, and Vieux having to outfielder used his hand apparently to keep it out of the goal. But it now gives them a 5-2 lead. If you thought half they were cut out. 2 goals in the span of what was that? Less than 5 minutes?
Less than 5 minutes. As they do, this team does tend to score in bunches. We haven't seen much from Keegan Cole since that first goal, that first solo goal. But the team as a whole is pretty potent. There are a number of strong attackers there. Lionel, you have, of course, Philip, you have Keegan Cole as well. So there's plenty for Coach Babalastic to call upon. Dante Fitz, absent from today's game, might be saved for the final. We'll see. Hope he's okay.
Well, it's going to be interesting. If the score stays like this, we will see for the second time in 2 days, well, 3 days actually, we will see this same St. Lucia Select 11 come up against the other finalists at the moment, or the only finalist at the moment, which is Vinci Ballers, and they made for a very... Oh, it's a breakaway. Phillipson is on the run. He plays it on the line, and, well, we know that man, Kendall Clark, is not going to let him
takes
pass.
No prisoners.
No prisoners whatsoever.
No prisoners. Wilfred upended.
So it's getting a little passionate here.
And the ball, in fact, came off a St. Lucia player. It looks as though Wilfred may have touched it last in the tackle. Puppy tries to make amends for that red card at the other end, but unable to beat Donai.
So these, if it stays like this, we saw Vinci Ballers come up against the St. Lucia Select 11 yesterday in what was a very exciting 3-3 tie. So no doubt those players are going to remember that encounter, and they are going to come for what they say, all the marbles tomorrow. We'll see if the marbles stay in St. Lucia or go back to Vinci on the boat that they came on. Very nice catamaran from what I heard from the players. The series up, but he doesn't get it. It's at his feet, and a nice turn. And no, of the pool. It was a nice turn by Puppy. Oh, and another save by Donai.
All the luck is with Darren Donai this afternoon. Now, Puppy, and Puppy had him dead to rights.
Puppy did very well.
Yeah,
it was a great turn, and
Puppy had him.
But Donai.
And still there for Vieux to south. There and thereabouts. Almost a perfect turn, but he had a mark on
making a rear. Taking a little more time than he maybe should have, but recovers well.
Anybody's ball right now, though.
Gidel Lionel coming out to keep that out. Oh, a nice touch back. And they tried to play a 1-2, but
Philip will perhaps feel he could have done better there. He should have connected with that far more solidly than he did.
Of course, a long attempt, but
every time the ball is lofted into the box, there's a cry of good goal.
You have to push. You have to push. You know, you're not going to get those that many opportunities for misfortune, but I suspect they know what it can do for a player's confidence, and they're trying to capitalize on it. Phillips inside. It's out by Kendall Clark. Mangal trying to be clever. His long legs helps him in that circumstance. Oh, Desir slipping and missing it, but he gets it back. Jared Desir, a player very strong on his feet. Vieux are going to have to give everything. Nice turn by Puppy. Back a little too long for Puppy. So St. Lucia select 11. They haven't sat back despite a 3-goal lead. Oh, look, Tariq Leo with another slip up. And again,
this one only cost his team a corner.
Chidel Lionel trying to give him some guidance. It is not at all for his technical ability. We've seen what he can do. He's just having a bad day. You know, everybody has a bad day in the office. Today is his.
And he's been visibly frustrated throughout the course of the game.
Oh,
I think a couple of folks in the comment section talking about whether he'll be able to make his way back to Vieux this evening.
Well,
I don't think it's quite that bad.
We know the passionate fans of football can be unforgiving, especially as you mentioned, Vieux, a team with a lot of legacy. So he's going to have to face the elders once he gets back to the south of the island. Clivewood doing his best. Braville comes outside. Phillips
Calm.
touches it in calmly. They're going to try to
get it to Felicien. Stays with them.
It's over the top. Clark, of course, doing what he does best. Will P not getting the better of Hunt. Wilfred. Long touch. Well, Braville is nice turn. Wilfred has it. He advances. And again, everybody is hoping for a slip up.
Well, everybody called on him to shoot.
The fans, but this young man has to be mentally strong. He has still very early in his career, so he has a lot of time to recover from one bad day in the office. Does not make a player's career.
In sport, when you're down by, the thing is, I mean, when you're a goalkeeper, there's very little margin for error in the first place.
Of course.
If you have had the kind of day that Tariq Leo has had, the piling on begins, and unfortunately, his opponents, folks in the crowd, everyone is against young Leo right now. Hope he is able to keep his head up and go on to greater things from here.
So that is Everest showing some good footwork, but then maybe
you could see that he thought about passing back to Leo, and I don't know, it could be the way the game has gone. He's
of course.
Like, nah.
It affects the confidence of everybody.
He says, nah. I'd rather kick it into touch than give this guy. Felicien kicks it upfield, kicks it into touch off the head of Lionel.
Pupi really wants another goal.
Good control.
Looks like they're going to be patient now. Wow. Oh, nice touch by Wilfred. Donovan not able to hold on to it. Donovan Phillip grazes the underside of his boot according to the linesman. And we have just about 4 minutes in regulation time, a little less, almost 3 minutes in regulation for Vieux to show some character. They're down with 10 men, so it's difficult when you are down a man and having a tough time in the goal mouth. Phillips, it's a flick on and well, that looks like Everest, Mount Everest, a very tall player, deciding to take matters into his own hand, clashing with his keeper. Better safe or sorry, I guess he says. There was no players from the opposition around them, but players get anxious.
I've been dragged down by a keeper in that situation. By my own keeper.
Well, they say that is the keeper's box, right? So when he's coming, you get out of the way.
No, I patted him on the back afterwards.
Oh, wow, okay, nice.
That's his prerogative.
Of course, it's his house. So this team, this St. Lucia Select team seems to not be missing Keegan Cole, who since coming off, they continue to score. Keegan Cole, I'm sure they are looking forward to him being rested and ready for the finals if they should make it. On some nice footwork. Oh, and
well done, Leo.
Leo, with each save, will get back some confidence. Leo goes long. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So referee calling back the first one. So Desir not punished for his infringement that followed. And it's going to be Hunt. Hunt taking his time. We're now at the end. Very close to the end of regulation. I'm not sure how much time the official has added on.
I haven't seen any indication.
Tonai. Oh, nice turn. St. Lucia Select playing very confident now. Oh, but maybe two count, and it's Mangal. Mangal comes back to Jadel Lionel, and Wilfred does what needs to be done. Jadel this year, Jaden this year. Cut out by Clark. Puppy strong on his feet. Nice turn by Puppy. Loses it. Raquel made Lionel taking his time. Oh, nice touch. It was a little underpassed. And now the other Lionel, Jadel Lionel.
How much extra time did you say?
So into the last few minutes of this encounter, this St. Lucia derby here at the 2022 Free Kick Youth Cup in St. Lucia. And the good news is we're definitely going to have a St. Lucian team in the finals. But in the case of Vieux, the bad news is that
Philistine handball, and that's right after tough tackle on Clive Gray. So
we will see if
it will be a free kick.
Who's
couple of
going to
infractions.
take it? I feel like it's going to be Puppy, but Puppy, we've seen him score a free kick from this position early in the tournament.
They haven't had a lot of free kicks before. They have won quite a few for the course of the tournament. Didn't have very many today. I think this might just be their second or third free kick for the afternoon.
So
The referee says no. To get the ball back to where I left it. Which I think is probably a better position for them in any case.
Maturin hits and it's solid, but it's straight to Donai, who catches it comfortably. To Leo.
One last toss of the dice for either team, perhaps. Haven't seen the indication as to how much time we have added on.
Puppy. Foiled by Hunt. My goodness, a crunching tackle. That was in. I should wear my shin guards in the stands. That sort of tackle. I actually jumped when it came in. But it is going to be Puppy's ball. No,
Donai calls for just a small wall. This is almost literally the last kick, more than likely. So just one man over the ball, small wall.
Oh, underneath to the
Oh,
first
not a
post.
bad kick at all.
Chidel Lionel back in. Hunt trying to get it out. Still not out of danger. Looks like a handball. I don't think he knew anything about it. His back was turned, but it just rolled off his hand as he tried to get up.
It's probably asking the ref, what could I have done? What more could I have done not to handle the ball?
At this stage, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make to the final outcome. But St. Lucia Select 11 showing a bit of perhaps anxiety in these last couple minutes, as we saw in the last game as well. We thought would probably, no doubt, still be open for a strong finish. Maturin. Oh,
lovely.
It goes into the back of the net, and a beautiful goal. Perhaps a consolation, but we should see in a while. Maturin, from the last kick, he was telling Puppy he wanted it, he was feeling something. We saw the tackle, we knew this young man felt that he could make a difference, and he delivers a rocket to the far corner. I don't know how much Donai could have done about that.
I don't think there's anything
And
he
it's
could
a
have done.
breakaway.
And here come Vieux again. Vieux back on the attack.
So,
And they will have earned themselves a corner kick.
Additional time. 3 minutes.
So we're being told that there were just 3 minutes of time added on, but
I think 3 more minutes. It seems like 3 more minutes at this stage. But excitement to the end. Puppy over the top.
still alive.
Donai
Plucks it out of the sky.
And I guess it's a head clash.
Hunt's back on the ground.
Hunt going down for the third time today.
Lots of bodies colliding in the box of that spot kick from the corner.
Well, Hunt, one of the shorter players in the back line, but he has incredible upward strength, I guess I should say, for a player of his height. Wins the head balls, he goes after them, and you know, sometimes you pay a price.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much more in this contest, one way or another.
You want to go into the back? First extra. Hey.
So
Bring the things in the car, please.
we are, coach is going to help off Hunt for the third time today. This young man doing great work in the center of the defense has been one of the stabilizing factors for St. Lucia Select 11. And we should be at the very end. Oh, what a clever touch. He gets it back. Riquelme Lionel wanting to express himself in these final minutes. Felician goes Braville, going across the field, and it is going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia Select 11. That's number 9 out there, Andres Daniel. Behind it, he's going to leave it for his teammate. They go over the top. Riquelme Lionel just trying to possess it, and
I really don't think that challenge was called for. Certainly,
well,
it's not such a heavy, clattering challenge in the dying stage of the game. They play essentially just playing keep away.
Well, we know Riquelme Lionel is a player that can antagonize defenders and tackle like a good old-fashioned derby tackle in Premiership football.
Hiram Hunt having words with the referee.
So it's good to see Fitz on the field. Fitz showing some of his warm-up skills, but at least we know that he is good and available for the finals. Fitz, I believe, also being a player on the All-Star team for his group.
Yes, he was.
So we will look forward to seeing him. And now we see the faces of the Vieux Fort players.
I think they can very well lift their heads a bit. I mean,
Of course.
they lost today, and
Of course. They're probably perhaps one of the best teams that has been very consistent
Yes.
from game one.
Yes.
They opened the tournament and they showed that they were a force to be reckoned with, and they have been very consistent throughout the tournament. So there is nothing at all to be ashamed of.
So in fact, the two teams going into the final, both unbeaten. They did
Yes,
draw against
yes.
one another, but they haven't lost
Correct.
for the course of the tournament.
So it feels like destiny, like they
Yeah,
both deserve
so-
to be there the way they have played throughout this tournament. And that's going to be it.
That will put pay to that. So St. Lucia Select 11, some good fortune on their side, but
course.
I thought they earned the win this afternoon.
They did. They did.
We thought South shouldn't hang their heads. They did not do themselves any disservice, did not discredit themselves here this afternoon. They played with pride, played with heart. They went ahead early, just weren't able to get to grips with the St. Lucia Select team. And to be honest, the luck was not on their side. Directly, a couple pieces of. I mean, you say bad play, but those are really just down to luck. He misread the angle. The ball pops out of his hand. He's beaten by an attacking player who's coming ahead with a full head of steam. These things will happen, and I think they need to lift their heads and get ready for the third place playoff against Trinity Nationals on Monday.
Correct. So a good game here. We were fortunate to see the best of St. Lucia and the 19 players give us a good show. Not a lot between the two teams. A very competitive team. Neither team being allowed the time and space to string together passes that they did. So it was a very exciting game for us to watch, and we hope to get a similar level of excitement for the finals tomorrow, as well as, of course, we will see Trin City Nationals come up against Vieux Fort South, and for them, as of course, what was also an exciting game, and both teams in that third place game are going to want to finish strong. So we look forward to more exciting football in this regional under 19 tournament.
Absolutely, and looking forward to a great final. That's it for us today from the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground.
Hey, I'm Free.
And I am Kicker.
And we love football. We are pumped and ready
To take you on at the Free Kick Youth Cup 2022.
in beautiful St. Lucia
Imagine yourself playing the beautiful game.
on one of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean.
It's a festival of football, fun,
And entertainment.
with players from all around the world. I can't wait. Free Kick Youth Cup. See you there.
And remember, many dreams.
One goal.